Okay, I call this meeting of the school committee back to session. And we begin with public input. If anybody has anything, I see Mr. Yule in the back. Mr. Yule. And I would ask you to try to stay to about 3 minutes. If there's, okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, my name is Ethel Little, 327 Park Street, Reading. My children attended this school, by the way, and we at Bowen School is known to be a very, very good school. We're very fortunate to teach them happy. The reason why I'm here, though, is there's an environment going on nationwide and statewide and so on, where there are approximately 400,000 immigrants or migrants infiltrating the border of the United States. And there being less too many cities and towns, Boston is no exception. One of the things that has happened while I'm here is that there's an issue where in New York City, at least anyway, and some other cities, they are allowing the immigrants to stay in gyms at public schools. Okay, and so my concern here is that, obviously, I guess it's not really happening here, thank God, but have you been talking about any contingency plans to be prepared if such an onslaught would have happened to North Reading, by directive or by Governor Healy, or by any other, by Desi or so on? Have you had any of those types of discussions because safety is a big issue in our schools? Is there any discussion on that to either be prepared for it or to react to it or what have you? Any discussions at all?
Well, Mr. Yule, I will say, this is public comment, not public discussion. And I will also just say that all of our meetings are public meetings and it's never been discussed in any meetings.
So,
Mr. Yule, we're not going back and forth. Do you have any other comments?
That's it.
Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Francine Coughlin.
Let's say your address to the record.
Yep, 303 Park Street. I'm here tonight to see the children present in the Little School. I'm a very proud Little School parent, a member of the school council, and I just wanted to voice my concern about using the beginning of these meetings to discuss national politics, national issues, international policy issues. I also had the opportunity to visit Ellis Island, and I brought my child and my friend whose parents were immigrants, and my entire family came through Ellis Island, so we are actually immigrants. So it's kind of a coincidence that Mr. Yule brings us up tonight. I just wanted to say that when we talk about things like this in this forum, especially knowing that there are actually immigrant parents in this room, and I'm children of immigrant families, I just want to say that if there are children listening in this forum, and if my own child can hear from the hallway, that immigration and immigrants, those are not nasty words or anything to be afraid of, guys. We welcome you. The Little School welcomes you. If we do have an onslaught of people who need support and who need to enter this country and who need help, please, this is not going to be a place to be afraid to come. This isn't going to be a community that is afraid of an onslaught. I don't like that word. It makes it sound like so dehumanizing and just xenophobic. I just want to say that that is not the environment that the Little School is promoting. That is not the environment that people that I see in this room are promoting in North Reading. And I would really like to be very careful when we use this forum to talk about these things, especially when there are children and parents here. So I just wanted to say that because it was just really timely, and I'd love to just enjoy the presentations tonight with very few public commentary of things that are going on that really aren't relevant to this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Coughlin. Any other public comments? Okay, hearing none, we move on to the student report. And we have Maya Nickerson want to present to us.
I don't think Mr. McLaren for coming to us in recognition tonight to present my award. Unfortunately, I was not there, but I just wanted to recognize you for coming to present.
Quite all right.
So for academic matters, next week is our senior finals week. So the seniors at North Reading, we're pretty much finishing up. Our last day is going to be next Friday. this past weekend, the girls' track team won the Cal League for I think the 9th year in a row. It's very impressive. And we have a lot of our runners going to the state competition this weekend. As for other things, we still have our youth tutoring every Wednesday after school from 3 to 5 in the media center. The eco team is preparing for a climate change presentation for 5th graders, and it's going to happen this Friday. And the class 25 has a Kiss a Senior Goodbye fundraiser going on where they give a little Hershey Kiss to a senior. So that's fun.
Very nice.
Mr. McGowan. So, funny you should mention. I had the honor of, unfortunately there was a little bit of communication and Maya wasn't able to be there, but I had the honor of being at the Student Awards ceremony last week to present this to you, Maya. I heard through Mr. LaPrette that your mom wanted a copy of my remarks, which were off the top of my head, to be honest, but I will give you my remarks as I recall them. I think we would all agree that one of the joys of being on the school committee is hearing from students. These presentations that we get at all the schools that make every year is great, and when student groups come in front of us and make presentations, whether it's requesting a new student activity group or a trip to fulfill an activity, those are always great joy to us, and having our student reps here every meeting is also just a great thing to have and have keep us up to date with what's going on in high school, but also just to hear your voices. So we really appreciate all of the reps who come, but I'm wanted to present this to you formally now. The school committee's appreciation award for you as your work as a student rep. So.
Thank you.
Oh.
This is my student work report. Yeah, I can share this also. So for my student work report this meeting in my art class right now, I know I always show my art. It's cool. And we did this kind of game almost. It's called Exquisite Corpse, and it's where every person in my class was given this blank piece of white paper, and my art teacher played a song, and for the period of that song, you had to draw like a pen on the paper, and then once the song was up, you switch to the next person, and you just kind of went around in a circle. And so each paper was filled with just contributions from everyone. And this is that final product of all the different pages we made.
That's great. That's cool.
It was super cool. It was cool to see how everything kind of like came together with the themes that we're seeing throughout all the pieces. And see what I would add. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent. I have one actual question before you leave. So, a few years ago, Mr. LaPrette had brought forth a proposal to try to have fewer senior finals, and I know that was, I think we're still in a test pilot. Yeah, I'm just curious, how has the reaction been? And like as a senior, I mean, how has it impacted you? Like, I mean, how many finals do you have, or are there some finals that you don't have to take because of the policy? Do you know?
Yeah, I only have to take one final this year because of the policy. It was kind of frustrating because the policy is 93 and above, and I have 92 in one class. So, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But I would say that it definitely helped me stay motivated for my fourth quarter because I knew that I wanted to get. I knew I had like to make calculations like this is what I have to get to keep going. So I could try to learn certain classes to push me over that limit of keeping where I need to be.
And the policy is if you have an average of 93 for the year,
For the year for that class.
okay, then you don't have to take the fine.
Exactly. So I think it is helpful to people like, and I know from like friends and other classmates that did the same thing, but everyone just that extra effort.
So as our rep, you like this policy?
I do it as well.
And I'll just note, you, as you said to us before, you're wearing a University of Vermont t-shirt today, and I think that is the school that you're going to next year then? Congratulations on that as well. Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, well, we appreciate your help this year, and good luck with it. Dr. Daly? Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And as always, you can sneak out if you want to. Okay, so we're at the little school tonight, so I guess I'll introduce Mrs. Molly.
Garden Center, are we doing that first? Or is
What are we doing first? Oh, do you want to do the poetry
I
club?
don't know, where did you have it on your, did you have it on the
Yep.
agenda?
What, you want to do that one first? Okay. Oh, that was, I thought you were presenting that, I'm sorry. I did see Miss Lindell there.
Good evening. I'm Charlene Malik. I'm the youth chairperson from North Reading Garden Club. Mr. Dan Lundell, who is also a member of the Garden Club and on the committee, as well as the administrative assistant to Dr. Daly. And I want to thank the committee for having us here tonight for this special presentation. The North Reading Garden Club, the Garden Club Federation of Massachusetts, and the National Garden Clubs Incorporated each year sponsor a themed competition to develop and creatively express environmental awareness. The competition is open to all area students with the opportunity to see the winner's work published. The poetry competition for students in kindergarten through the 9th grade had the theme Seeds, Trees, Bees, Oh My, celebrating the diversity of nature. The poem could be written in any form. Winners at each grade level were selected by the state committee. First place poems are then forwarded to the New England region. From there, first place winners go on to the National Garden Club, where they compete against all states of the country. This year, 27 students from North Reading submitted poems to our club. And they ranged in grades 3 to 5. All poems met the established criteria set forth by the National Garden Clubs and were sent to the Garden Club Federation of Massachusetts Poetry Committee. State winners were determined, as I said, at each grade level. And from there, those state winners went on to the New England region. Tonight, and from there, the New England region, they went on to the National Garden Club. Tonight, Ann Lundell and I have the privilege to let you know that 3 of North Reading students placed first at the state level. They placed first at the New England region level. From there, they went on to that national competition, in which we are so proud that tonight we can say that for grade 3, Tatum Green, for the bachelor's school, for her poem, My Wide Awake Dream World, placed first at the national level. So as I have said to the parents, right now we have the state certificates, and next week at the annual Garden Club Federation of Massachusetts meeting, I will be presented with the New England region and the national certificates plus the booklets. And so we will have a separate presentation for those. And Tatum is a bachelor school student, so Mr. Maloney, who could not be here tonight, has set up June 2nd for her to receive those. Tatum, congratulations. Next, for grade 4, Madeline Brown from the Little School. Woo-hoo! Her poem is entitled How My Garden Grows. So Madeline, this is your state certificate from the Garden Club Federation of Massachusetts for the first place in the state. And again, I will be coming back to the little school to present the New England region and the national certificate. And now for grade 5, Harper Green from the bachelor school. Her poem is entitled A Newbie's First Spring Flight. And again, here is her certificate. You want us to stand in the back? And we'll get all of you. All right, now we'll get up. In conclusion, I would like to thank Dr. Daly and the past superintendents that I have worked with. I've been doing this for about 20 years now, and each superintendent has been wonderful to get the word out to all the schools. I also want to thank each of the principals, and I also want to thank Maureen Doherty of the transcript, because she's been wonderful about publishing the contest itself and the follow-up whenever we have winners. The North Reading has had several state and national winners throughout the years, and I think it speaks very highly to the quality of our schools here in North Reading. Thank you.
Excellent. Congratulations to all the winners. And I mean, the school committee has presented all the poems. I can unequivocally say I could not have written any of them. So much better than me. So thank you. Now, Mrs. Melly, I thought you were introducing me. No. Here we go.
So welcome back, school committee. It's so very nice to have you here. I believe the last time the school committee visited us was 2019, I believe, in school. So it's been quite a long time. And we're excited to be celebrating the end, not that we're excited about the end, but more of a typical year this year than we've had in quite a long time. Before we go into the program, I just want to say a few thank yous. Members of my school council are here tonight, as well as members of my PTO. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate everything these human beings do for this school. I always say it, we have a fabulous faculty and a terrific staff, but the parent organizations and the parents and the families in this school really bring it all together. And I am forever grateful for everything they do, not just on Educator Appreciation Week, which if I began to explain what that was like, you wouldn't even believe it. But throughout the year, the work they do to supplement and provide for our children at the little school, and this year especially, where we brought enrichment programs back, field trips back, whole school assemblies, which we weren't allowed to have for the longest time. It was just really, really overwhelmingly wonderful. And I want to thank all of you, all the families who contributed throughout the year, and especially my school council and members of the PTO. Just a couple of things about some interesting stuff that's been happening at the little school. Obviously, you know, every year we look at our data and we decide, you know, where we're going, what our goals are going to be. This year we worked on a few things that we look at our strengths, we also look at our weaknesses, and we decide what goals we want to craft for ourselves. This year we worked on a number of things. In alignment with the DESE's MTSS, we implemented win blocks for all grades K to 5, 3 days a week, which for many of the parents, I believe I sent something home, and I know everybody gets a million emails who come in and read it, but there are these blocks of time during the day where every child gets what they need, specifically this year in reading, and we respond to those interventions by looking at the data and deciding, what students need what. We work with them in small groups. We have many professionals in the building helping, not only the classroom teachers, reading specialists, the special ed teachers, paraprofessionals, we all come together to provide interventions based on data and based on student need. And for years, we've always said, everybody gets what they need. And this year especially, I'm not going to lie, it was a little tricky to schedule, but it's a work in progress. We think we did a pretty good job of it this year, and we hope to improve as the years go on. We also looked as a staff and a faculty of improving our staff meetings. together to work on things that we've identified as places we want to show improvement. And we learn from each other. We research things. We share our successes. We talk about things that may have not gone so great in the classroom. And we brainstorm how to do things better. And we really, and the leadership team in this building has been a tremendous help in scheduling and brainstorming and planning some of those professional learning community meetings. And we believe it was very successful. We focused on writing this year as a result of some of our MCAS scores. We also focused on math, which you're going to see a little bit of a math presentation this evening. And also on the implementation of universal design for learning strategies that all teachers are using in the classroom. So tonight, we are really excited. We have our third grade teaching team. Mrs. Klein-Peter, Mr. Lynch, and Mrs. Passotti are here with some of their students to represent the third grade and to show a sample lesson regarding the teaching and learning of some math concepts that traditionally sometimes give us a little bit of a hard time when we're learning third grade math, you know, that geometry and things like that. So you're going to see some pretty nifty activities that the teachers crafted. You know, we teach math a little differently than I learned when I was a kid, or maybe some of you learned. We move away from the rote memorization, and it's more of getting kids involved in the actual touching and feeling of math and understanding what math is. So for all of you families that are probably struggling with understanding Eureka math, there is a reason that Eureka math is the way it is, because it's teaching children the base and the basics of what math is all about. So tonight you will see a number of students show one way of some activities that were designed multimodal, we like to call them. They can, you know, visual, auditory, touching. We had technology was involved. It was pretty interesting. So Mrs. Kelly is here, our digital learning teacher as well. She's assisting, and she's planning and facilitating with the third grade team. So thank you, Mrs. Kelly, for being here with the third grade team. And then finally, after a short hiatus due to the pandemic, we are so excited to have our drama club back. And they, you know, Mr. Taker does a fabulous job with the kids. It's usually an every other year presentation for the little school. We alternate with the bachelor school. And so this year it is our year. And this year we're doing a musical called Clowns. And we have a number of students here tonight to give you a sneak peek of what that will look like. And we invite you to join us at the North Reading High School Middle School Performing Arts Center on Friday night, June 16th, or Saturday afternoon matinee on June 17th for the full production. I know you will be impressed. We always are. The children work hard. The staff works hard. And we're excited to share that with you tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to our third grade team and Mrs. Kelly and our third grade students, and they will be, let's see, introduce the students to you. One of them. Are we doing one at a time? No. All right. One, two, one first.
There's for the backs of you guys.
some choice activities that included, for example, learning about the perimeter and area by building the Queen of Hearts castle and learning geometry through a computer program called Scratch. We ranked our preferences and were assigned to a group. My group, for example, was with Mrs. McGuire, and we created shapes using the Scratch program. You'll learn more about this fun activity later from my classmate, Kevin. Now, please allow me to introduce my friends and classmates who will describe the activities: Emma, Kevin, Ophelia, Cameron, and Christopher.
Hi, my name is Emma. My group with Mr. Lynch was investigating the construction of nets. Nets are three-dimensional shapes that are constructed with a simple piece of paper. The net of a shape is also called a geometry. A net is what a three-dimensional shape would look like, cut, folded, and glued from a piece of paper. You can draw and fold your own nets to make three-dimensional shapes. Nets provide a practical, visual way for students to explore different three-dimensional shapes and their properties. We had a hands-on experience with the shapes and how they can be produced. Nets can also help us understand and visualize mathematical concepts and terms such as faces, edges, and vertices. I most enjoyed getting to see and touch the number of vertices and edges of different shapes.
Hi, my name is Kevin. My group was basically coding with
competition number 3, length of 20 units and width of 14 units. My winner was the 12 by 12 wheel because it had the largest area, 144 square units. That's a lot of gold and silver tiles. Here's my John Level winner. Right here.
Anybody have any questions for our mathematicians?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't have a question, but I have to say, great job on the presentation, and especially with the extra challenge that Mrs. Molly gave you by having the fans on so hard. You need to talk to her about that. Great job, guys.
All right, stay where you're seated.
Just keep the mic, don't worry.
I'll take that. Thanks, son.
Good evening. My name is Teresa Hornby.
And my name is Cameron Kaczynski.
We are both members of the 2023 Middle School Drama Club.
This year we are presenting the musical Clowns, written by Craig Castles.
Clowns is an energetic, fast-paced musical about a troupe of young clowns who someday hope to be professionals in their trade.
This story is one of singing and dancing, laughing and crying, searching and finding.
The very elements of life itself.
In order for us to become full-time real clowns, we must find the great secret of life.
We don't want to give away too much of the show, so come join us on either June 16th or June 17th in the Performing Arts Center.
Or better yet, you should come to both shows. Maybe you can help us find the great secret. right in front of your nose. That's right, here. You know, I'm glad we have this moment to ourselves, because there are a few things we need to get straight. First of all, I hope you have a good seat. You
you to get in here. Oh, by the way, thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Say, you may be wondering what kind of wheel I am. Well, let me tell you, I am the big wheel. I am many things to many people, as you will soon find out. People seem to need me in different ways. Say, I'm looking for a bunch of clowns. You wouldn't happen to be one of them, would you? Oh, sorry, my mistake. Well, look, let's keep in touch. Oh, wow, there they are now. You better brace yourself. The company of clowns is on its way.
Okay, we'll start up again. And we'll go on. We have a nomination for a School Committee Award of Appreciation. Dr. Daly, you want to go over this, or?
So it's in your packet.
Yep.
I think what we agreed to do is just discuss it in principle
without naming the person.
Spoilers. But,
yeah.
But if we sort of approve to move forward, what we would do now is we would prepare the certificate to be ready for the next meeting and invite the person who presents a certificate. I did have the opportunity to present the last award to both Mr. Lukowski and Logan today.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I did tweet out a picture. I was actually shaking Logan's hand. Paw, I should say. It's pretty cute. It was really fun. So I got to do that today. It's just taken a little while to get our schedules lined up. So I think this process would work well. So tonight, without spoilers, is there a consensus about what's in the packet? And then
I think there's a consensus. My only comment would be the particular person, I think, has done so much more than just what's on there too. And I don't know if we want to expand on it even more or not. I don't know, but like, you know, been a very integral part of the community for a very long time. And again, we can mention that, I guess, in there.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
would-
representation of
Yeah.
various
I mean, yeah.
good deeds.
Yeah. There was one thing that was noted, but it was also, you know, there's so much more there. So yeah, if we're in favor of it, do we want to take the vote on the actual day of the meeting again?
I think that's what we decided.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Mr. McGowan and I were there to see some of the work that
Yeah, it was
supposed to be
beautiful.
doing,
It's
the
excellent.
other day was great to get to see.
Yeah. Any objection to the award? Mr. Friedman, I know you're really tough on giving awards. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Only
Okay.
making awards.
Well, we are all in favor of it then, so.
In favor of me starting to create the certificate.
Yes.
Yeah. Create the certificate, make sure, and again, assume that he can make it there and we'll go there. Okay, excellent. We have a fairly light
Yeah.
agenda tonight, which is nice. So, minutes is none this time. I don't know why that's way up there, but okay. Budget update, Mr. Connolly. Do you have a budget update for us?
So Michael's not here
He's
yet.
not yet?
I
Okay.
could either
We can go
present
back to it.
for you, or we could go back
Why don't we
in a
go
couple
back
minutes.
to it and, yeah.
He may be joining us in just a few minutes. He's at practice till 7:30, so he's going to be remote.
So why don't we come back to both of these items that would, you know, have him here, and then, so staffing, there's no update. Bids and donations, want to go through that?
Were there some? I don't see any on here. Or do I?
That's not it, no.
No.
I don't know if there were any.
I don't think there are any.
Thought they were.
Nope.
Were there none in there? No.
Yeah. No grants?
There was
No
none-
grants?
There was none in there. I'm not sure. It does say there are, but there were none in the packets.
No. Overnight trip request, I appreciate this being included in here, and I think we,
Go over this for you. So
yep, we talked about this last meeting, right?
we talked about it. These are the actual details. So
Yep.
Washington, D.C. on June 8th and 9th. And the idea is that the teams, their parents, their families, the coach get activities all together. The parking, travel, meals, hotels are all covered by the Toshiba.
That's nice.
Awesome.
So they're going to be staying at the Courtyard Marriott, Washington, downtown, the convention center. They made all the reservations, but they would be missing June 8th, I believe, is the day would be missing.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. I saw that it was all paid for by Toshiba, which is really nice, so.
Yeah.
Actually, the 8th and 9th, because that's the next.
Yeah. Are they gonna get to do any additional, I mean, they'll have some time with their families, or is there anything else planned while they're there or not? Or,
I'm not sure. Other sightseeing
Yeah.
opportunities? Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it is planned out. I'm sure it's well organized. I would hope there's maybe a little time to sneak into the Smithsonian or something.
yeah.
I
Great.
believe Bill Nye the Science Guy makes an appearance usually.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's always been part of the program.
He's still popular today, which is kind of
Well,
it's
the South
amazing.
Side's good.
Yeah, that's
Have you ever
exactly.
met? That would be great.
Yeah.
That
I
would be a
agree.
great meeting.
They met virtually,
would-
but I don't know if they've met in real life.
That'd be a viral video. Bill Cassell and Bill Nye going back and forth. I would love to encourage them.
Excellent. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the Explorer Vision trip?
I make a motion to approve the bachelor school third grade Explore Vision trip to Washington, D.C.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, moving on with no subcommittee meeting updates. Subcommittee schedule. Meeting dates and time of subcommittee are as follows. Finance planning team is meeting, is it this Friday? Or
No, June 2nd.
next Friday? Next Friday.
Yep.
At 8 a.m. And I think we're basically going to be going over the warrant article and being ready to speak. If anybody does want to speak on behalf of anything, the omnibus article, or there's also that petition from a member of the community. I think I'll probably plan on speaking on both of those. Athletic subcommittee is scheduled to meet on May 23rd at noon. Fine Arts subcommittee is scheduled to meet May 31st at 3:15. Dr. Daly, the administrative report.
I had just a few brief things to share. One was the update earlier. Mr. McGowan and I were actually fortunate to get to watch the notorious, the cast of Pippin, the nominations for
That was fun.
the 10 awards in 9 categories.
Yeah, so it's 10 awards because 2 people were nominated as supporting actors.
Yeah, and so it was really kind of, you want to describe the scene?
Yeah, so we had a moment. We were there for something else, and we had a moment where we went over, and they're all in the library, sitting around the TV, watching the live stream, and the screen sometimes. And there was I don't know the woman's name, but a New York actress, a professional actress, was there doing the nomination, saying the nominations, and whenever whenever the show or one of the people in the show was mentioned, they would all scream and be excited. So it was really quite exciting, fun to watch. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I have a couple of quick questions on that. So,
I'm sorry. And by the way, it's like it's like when you have it's like when the Patriots were winning Super Bowls all the time. It's like you're just sitting there. Of course, they're going to get nominated for 10 things.
well, what I'm curious, how many categories were there? Because they were nominated for lead actor, supporting actor, ensemble, sound, lighting, design.
They had musical categories,
overall musical,
and non-musical categories, I think, as well. So, which we weren't.
Well, I mean, honestly, in the musical category, like it seemed like everything that I would think of,
That
they were nominated in.
They were nominated for. That's great.
And how many nominees in each of the categories? I mean, was it like consistent or?
It wasn't entirely consistent, but I would say for most of them there were probably 5 or 6 nominees. Very similar to like the big awards ceremonies in terms of how that's structured.
Yeah.
So there were only 10 categories.
Oh, so okay.
So they were nominated in 9 of the 10 categories.
Yep.
10 awards and 9 categories.
Yep.
Got to leave something to strive for next year.
That's right.
I'm kidding, Mrs. Kane, if you're listening. No, that's excellent. And did they at least know going into it that anybody would be nominated? Did they tell anything? No, there was no advance notice of
I
anything.
think they did. Yeah.
It was all a surprise.
So now some of those students that were nominated will have a chance to go to the library.
Yeah, that's really good. That's excellent. What was that? When?
In June, first week of June. And there's a whole program where they go down. Some of them will go down early and be part of some workshops, really, right? And then they'll all be down at the end for the award ceremony and performances. And
They're gonna need a bigger bus.
we're gonna need a bigger bus.
They're talking about.
No, keep it.
June 5th and 6th. So
Yeah.
for some of the students, that's their senior prom as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to figure out.
Yep.
Is in the I'm going to guess in the future where they're going to probably try to do this again. I wonder if even if like they publish it, I wonder if like things like senior prom can even be considered around that in the future. I don't know. Just a thought.
It's hard.
This is the
Is
first
that always the
thing.
same one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the prom is kind of, our schedule, that year-end schedule is kind of locked in, right?
It's hard. Yeah.
Ours is, but the rest of the country's already out. So.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Well, congratulations to them. That's awesome. And yeah, I mean, and for the students too. I mean, anybody that wants to go on and do this in the future, this has to be great for their college applications as well.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very inspiring. And this is a very big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just keep, all of the national awards that we've covered several tonight.
Yeah.
Sport, vision, poetry, division titles, we're doing very well.
And they were saying there is a national nomination as well. Does everybody that gets nominated automatically get nominated to that, or are the winners nominated?
I thought it was like the top 2. Maybe I made that up somewhere.
I don't know. Okay.
It's a new thing to me. The whole thing is new.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Any other administrator?
Yes, I know. We need to put that up there.
Yeah.
Did we ever?
Not just baseball.
It's on our agenda again tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This being the athletic subcommittee, we'll probably talk about it for several meetings.
Is the hold up the financial or getting the approval or is there a hold up or
There's
just
talk about
yeah.
doing something locally, and then I think the town wants it to much longer.
Right. Yeah.
It involves more stakeholders that
Right.
we're able to commit at the moment. But I think we can do something much more immediate.
On the campus.
Okay. Any other administrative report?
I just wanted to add that, I did send an announcement today to families. We had an increased police presence at the end of the day. I know I was able to see what that looked like at the high school. It was just some more middle high campus, some additional officers on scene, just out of the abundance of caution because of what's in the news. So we did send it all out. There was a hoax at one of the local schools, St. John's Prep. But it can definitely be alarming. I know that some local schools that were in neighboring districts went into a shelter in place so they could just continue to teach, but be ready. The latest reports that I've seen were that this was a hoax and there was nothing there. There was an accidental discharge of a firearm which sort of escalated into what was reported as an active shooter. So the good news is, from all reports, we're going to get a lot more, but there was a very swift and impressive, from what I've heard, police response. Very good time. The Danvers police. You've also got state police there. You've got local districts, so there's a lot of officers reporting. I work really closely with the police department to talk and to come up with a plan and to communicate out. So that all happened within about 5 minutes of time, honestly. I got texts from my own children who were in the neighboring district, and just seeing it all play out, news, police, talk, get it out. So we did communicate that out. I'm glad that we did.
Communication was very fast. I got your text before I heard any other news, so that was reassuring.
That's good.
Yeah.
And appreciate you dealing with that. I don't know how concerning the information you were getting from your kids' schools was, but that's obviously having to deal with that at the same time.
Yeah, it's just, even just a shelter in place,
It's not nothing.
Say, what is it and what's going on?
Yeah.
Especially if there's miscommunication involved. So our team here, our principals were great, we got it out. I think especially in this day and age, we saw that, because this was close to home, kids were, some of them might get a text message from a relative or someone that's there. We have staff members who have children there, or students who have friends there, staff members who have family there. So lots of communication in a short time, but it was good.
Excellent. Correspondence?
No, at this time.
I will just add one thing for correspondence. I don't know if everybody got the email or if I only got it. Did you guys get an email from a woman in another school committee talking about full-day kindergarten?
No.
No.
So she reached out. She's trying to get together communities that still have sharp fees for full-day kindergarten to approach representatives in the state to try to get funding to help us to eliminate those fees. And it seems like right now she's just looking for people that are interested in joining her in that. So I did volunteer, Dr. Daly volunteered, I volunteered Diane, I'm just kidding, but I did say you're our legislative rep, and so it's, right now it's just another district that has a fee, and she's just trying to research and find other districts that have them too, to possibly work together to try to see if we can get some funding at the state level to help us reduce or eliminate that, so. But yeah,
I stand with that for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was interested. I said we'd be interested in, just so there's no meetings or anything scheduled yet. I did say that we have a good working relationship with our local representatives, and so.
What district was that?
I can't remember. I can tell you if I look at my phone in a minute, but.
That's all right.
Okay, so let's go back. Has Mr. Connolly joined us or not? I mean, I think we're fine without him.
Yeah.
But
Don't tell him that.
Active box.
was that Acton?
Active box.
Boxford, okay.
Really interesting.
So I think we could just go through the two items. I'll start with the second one.
Yep.
We've just recommended the increase to substitute rates. We haven't made a change there since FY21. We believe that this would be commensurate with the market and the competitive rates. We want to stay competitive in the area. So we would just like support on adjusting those rates for the upcoming school.
Yep, no, I thought I didn't have any real questions with it. I mean, considering it's been 3 years, it's a very modest amount over 3 years. Anybody have any questions on it?
Nope.
Should we have a motion to approve the rate changes? I think we have a motion, yeah. So
Yep.
can I have a motion
Yep.
to approve the new rates for the substitutes for 2023, 2024?
I will so move.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? And budget update.
Sometimes I
saw
forget to
from
say
Mr.
it.
Connolly the update as well.
So Mr. Connolly included a budget update in the packet. There are some information there. Things are going well as we close out the year. He points out a few items to consider. One being we've had some additional long-term substitutes that have been called in for some unanticipated leaves of absence, including with the custodial services, that have led to some overtime fees. School lunches are still free, and we are moving well in that area. All of the adjustments are being made to close out the year. So we are looking to review all of our purchase orders and make sure that we're closing everything out. We're going to continue to address those repairs related to HVAC boilers, wastewater treatment plant, elevator equipment. And it was a pretty moderate winter in general, but so everything's remained in budget, but we are aware of those long-term pieces. And so I don't know if there are any questions. I can try to do my best to answer this.
Now, the fiscal year ends end of June. Fiscal year ends end of June, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and so.
We just presented the budget update, so I don't know if there's any questions that anyone had for Michael?
I didn't really. Anybody have any?
I guess the only thing I was thinking of, Michael, is have you looked at, and maybe it's too early, what kind of resources might be available for prepaying special ed tuition for next year?
Yes, so we have looked at that. We are in the process of collecting those invoices and contacting the schools, and we're getting to, we'll start probably this week incorporating the funds for those. We'll start the process invoices. Right now, the goal is $300,000 target.
Right.
Which would exceed the amount budgeted. That's typically what we try to do if there's funding available. So, there's going to be things that come up, sort of anticipated items short between now and June with five and a half, 6 weeks remaining. But we're fairly confident with the way things are trending and what Dr. Bailey just presented, which reflected on the report that we'll be able to repurpose some of the funding, some savings and utilities, and some areas identified here to prepay a target number of $300,000.
Okay, thank you.
And that amount is a little bit less than last year, was it? Is it?
It is, yeah. So it is less than last year. Last year we historically around $300,000 was the amount we had always done. Last year we almost doubled that, and that was lots to do with the fact that we had one-time funding in the area of special education that was available last year through some additional kind of area grants for IDA and childhoods to be able to
it's certainly prudent to do it because we had some big costs at the beginning of the year, so it's definitely needed. So thank you very much. Any other questions on the budget? Okay. I think we're actually at the end of the meeting then. The next meeting is going to be on Monday, June 12th. We're going to have a meeting. Remember, we're going to have a CPAC meeting. CPAC is presenting. We're going to meet before the town meeting in the distance learning lab. Then we'll move down to town meeting afterwards. So, yeah, so meeting at 5 p.m. There. I would be prepared for 4:30 just for an executive session. I'm going to guess we're going to need an executive session again. I would just assume going forward for the next few meetings, we'll probably have an executive session. And over the summer, if you need to call a meeting just for an executive session at any point, feel free to do that. I mean, we can do them virtually, which is nice too. So we could just do a 30-minute executive session if we ever need. I would be prepared for 4:30 with the 5 o'clock for the public
Regular
meeting.
session will be 5 o'clock.
Yes. Okay. If there's.
Just note, while I was sitting here, we did get an email about the budget for next year, just a concern from a parent about the need for the school adjustment hours, which I think we're well aware of.
Yep.
We'd love to have, our plan is to have one in the school, and that's certainly one of the major things we push for next year as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad the public is listening, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. I mean, this, as we're going to talk about at town meeting, I mean, there are things that are not getting funded here, and, you know, it's just, we're having fewer FTE next year than we have this year. And so that's not a good way to go. So.
And I bet that's the fastest that a person's email has ever been addressed at a school committee meeting.
Perhaps. Was it sent to all of us, Dr. Dale, or just you?
I think it may have just been some.
Okay. If you don't mind forwarding.
I thought it was
that'd be
worse
interesting.
than
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
No, appreciate it. Okay. Well, there's nothing else. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second?
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone.